Welcome back to another episode of Overkill Trading. I got the watch list for you guys this week. Coming up into September 28th is the date today, so this is going to be for next week. We got stocks and we got cryptocurrencies in here that we are watching like a hawk. I think some of these names are absolutely about ready to explode. I wanted to go over a few things. I know it's been a couple weeks. I just got married. I appreciate all you guys reaching out and congratulating me. It's a true blessing from God, and I am so grateful, and I'm real happy to be back with you guys here doing some more analysis and staying on top of these markets. So with that being said, we'll get to the watch list here in just a second. I did make some changes while I was getting ready to this video. Again, our trading rules are very simple. We're not day traders. We're swing traders. We're focusing on a weekly and a daily chart. Okay, we are using our trading indicator that we use on this channel to identify our entries and our exits. It's pretty simple. Okay, the indicators right down here. The green dots mean buy and the red dots mean sell. Okay, and generally we want to buy the green dots when they are down here on our charts. Okay, not up here generally, even though you can enter on those, but the best ones to enter on are going to be the ones down here when this blue wave is way extended to the downside, because that tells us, right, there has been a big move to the downside. You can see Bitcoin, we're looking at a chart of Bitcoin right now. Okay, that red dot came back here in March. 75K was, or 74.7 was the top, and we have just been grinding down, right? This market since March has been just shitty. Right, we're in a consolidation phase. We're going sideways. Very, very, very choppy. Nobody likes to trade this kind of market, especially using our strategy. It gets a little difficult, but that is also why we implement in the daily chart. So, again, the green and the red dots are very important. We want to buy on the day or the week of the green dot. So again, you could have bought Bitcoin right here on the 9th of September. We were bouncing off of this green line down here. I have added in the this is called the Bollinger Bands. It's BB. If you guys get the trading indicator, this will be loaded directly into your TradingView account. But that was a perfect bounce off that green line. So the green line and the red line are really support and resistance levels when you think about the Bollinger Bands. And then this blue line right here is an SMA, a 30 SMA. So it's like the average price. If you're looking at a daily chart, it's the average price over 30 days. And we either want to buy bounces off of that blue line or off of this green line. So you can see this green dot came up here off the orange line, which is the 9 EMA here. Okay, the 9 EMA, that orange line on our chart, is going to be the average price over 9 days. If you're using a daily chart, it is the average. It is a 9-week average if you're using a weekly chart. You can see Bitcoin did break out over that weekly. So I think Bitcoin can definitely make a jump up here to 72K in the next couple of weeks. That would put us at our weekly, right, resistance level. So what this measures is the deviations. So you can see most of the time, okay, it's going to bounce off of the green line. Okay, we get a green dot off of the green line down here, off of the Bollinger Band. That is bullish. Okay, and you can see it retracts up to the red line. So the red line is where you want to think about taking profits. So right now on a daily chart, Bitcoin looks like it's in profit-taking territory. I think if you're holding Bitcoin right now, what you want to do is you want to set a stop loss right there at 62, because if we reverse and go back down, you might get a chance to buy it off of 60, or you could even get a chance to buy it off of 53 if it goes that low. I don't know which way we're going to go right now. Like, the only way these markets are going to pump is if the whales want to pump it. We need a massive influx of liquidity, and which I think we're going to get. Okay, I think we're going to get that just based off of what I'm seeing in the world right now. Okay, you got the Fed coming out. They're cutting rates. You saw China. Tim Tebow was calling out the news over there. Thank you, Tim, for all your contribution over here inside the Discord. But he did call out, what was it, yesterday or the day before, where you could see China's cutting rates. So with the rate cuts, what we need to think about as a rate cut is it's easier to borrow money. So when rates go down, that means it's easier to buy a house because your monthly payment is less, right? So it's easier to borrow money. So what happens is big money, right, smart money who has billions and billions of dollars, they're able to borrow money from banks, right, hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars from banks at a cheaper rate. And what do they do with that borrowed money? Okay, they don't go spend it on McDonald's or go down to the park and have a good time. No, they buy assets. They buy things like real estate, stocks, cryptocurrency. The last time the Fed cut rates was in 2020. Okay, right about here. You guys remember the COVID? Okay, they came in here and they cut rates. We had this big, massive dip on Bitcoin from 10.5 all the way down to 4,000. Okay, and then the Fed came in and they're like, hey, we're going to cut rates. And what happened? Okay, monster move. So this is where the Fed cut rates last time. I want you guys to keep that in mind. And they just cut rates. What was it? A couple weeks ago? Okay, I haven't been really plugged in to the news and stuff just because I've been on my honeymoon and spending time with my wife, but I'm getting back into it now. But again, I saw that they cut rates. It was back here the last time they did that. And then in 2021 is when they tightened. So when they tighten, that means they start raising rates. So when the Fed, right, the Federal Reserve, who pretty much controls the economy, right, when they raise rates, it gets harder to borrow money. You guys can see people aren't buying houses as rapidly because rates were up at 8%. So when a rate's at 8%, your monthly payment is, right, I think I bought my house in 2020. My rate was 2.3%. Okay, and now in 2022 or whatever it was, or 2023, rates were at 8%. So the rates were 5 times as much. I tried to buy an investment property for the same price I bought my house for. I think it was like $330,000. Okay, and my payment at the time at a 2.3% rate was about $1,900. Okay, $1,900. I went to buy an investment property at the same exact price with the rate at 8%, and my payment was almost double. So that's why people aren't able to buy houses right now, is because rates are so high. But that's going to change because now they are cutting rates. So when rates go down from the past, right, in the past, and just from historical data, okay, and if you think about it, right, money's easier to borrow, and when they're borrowing money, they're injecting it into the markets, which causes prices to go up. So when money's easier to borrow, that is when things are easier to buy, right? People want to buy real estate when rates are low. People want to buy stocks and all this stuff, okay? These markets are controlled by leverage, unfortunately, okay? And when money is easy to borrow, okay, that's a good thing for holding on to assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stocks and real estate, right, when rates are low. So typically when they cut, that means they're going to keep cutting for a period of time. It could be 2 years, it could be 3 years until they get to where they want to be. Then they might pause. But you're seeing that rate cut. So that is extremely, extremely bullish, okay? And I know I called out that I think Bitcoin is going to pull back to 37K. I'm not saying that's not possible. Okay, if we're looking at a chart of Bitcoin right here, you see the red dot, okay? These red dots in the past have caused us big, big pullbacks. But this one right here, back in May, caused us to pull back. It was like 30 to 40%. I think we pulled back about, I want to say from the very top, we've pulled back all the way down. It was about a 34% pullback. I really, really would like to see it pull back to that 30 EMA at 36, but I don't know if it's going to happen, folks. I don't know if it's going to happen. I think next week is going to be a big, big tell. I think the very, very, very important level for Bitcoin right now is going to be 60K. Okay, and you can see we bounced very nicely off of the green line there. I'm loving these Bollinger Bands. There's lots of videos on them on YouTube, but I like using them better than the EMA lines just because they give you a clear place of where we're going to bounce. You can see how Bitcoin retracts down here to the green line. Boom, green dot. Okay, if you pair the green dot with the bounce on either on that green line with the Bollinger Bands, and I have updated this trading indicator. So if you guys don't have the Bollinger Bands, reach out to me and I could send you guys the link if you want to get it. But again, when you guys purchase the trading indicator, you get all the settings that I have set up, the trading indicator, everything down here. And all those proceeds support the channel. So I really appreciate you guys contributing. And I think this strategy works very, very well if used correctly. But again, a green dot with a bounce off this green line, or a green dot with a bounce off of the, you can see the green dot right here with a bounce off either the orange line or the blue line, is extremely, extremely bullish when this stochastic RSI is on the floor. So I got a watch list I want to go through with you guys. And I'm gonna actually show you a few more examples here. Here's a thing of AVE. So AVE right here, you can see how these markets moving away. AVE is such a beautiful chart. Like, it's such a good looking chart for traders because you can see how this wave is moving, right? You get this bounce up and you get the bounce down, you get the green dot. Okay, that one came at 81, pumped all the way up to 110. That's about a 30% move. What did it do? Gave us a red dot. And by the way, our profit taking strategy is when either we hit that red line, right? That's when we want to take either some profits or full profits, right? And you can also pair that with this stochastic RSI. This is very popular amongst traders, and again, it is included in the trading indicator. But when that thing hits the white dotted line, you want to take profits there. Because again, if you're entering the best day, the best possible day to enter is when you get a green dot on the daily chart, right? That is the best day to enter. If you guys are trading a weekly chart, okay, a little longer term chart, which is fine. The best day to enter, or the best week to enter, is the week we get the green dot. You should have been entering AVE right here at $90. It went all the way up to 180. Do the math. That's 100% move. If you bought on this green dot a $10,000 worth and you're holding and you're still holding, you're up over 100%. And I'm pretty sure I called this trade out. Of course, I ended up selling at like 130 when we hit this red line here, and it just kept going, which is fine. Right? As traders, guys, we don't want to time the top. Like, I'm not somebody that's going to sit here and hold on forever. Some of you guys in the channel are okay doing that, and that's cool. Okay, I'm really trying to capitalize on these swings. I'm trying to swing trade, right? We're trying to buy the dips and sell the rips. Okay, so when we hit that red line on our chart, whatever chart you're trading, okay, our indicator is going to work on any chart that you could use it on a 4-hour. You could use it on an hourly chart. You could use it on a 4-hour. But as I always say, the longer the time frame, okay, the more accurate these green and red dots are going to be. Okay, you can see AVE called this green dot back out here on January 23rd. That was at $52. You're up 300% right now. And this last one came right here. I called this one out at $96, I'm pretty sure, inside the Discord. And this thing looks like it wants some more. All-time highs all the way up there at $600. Okay, so I'm not saying this thing can't just absolutely rip, but I'm looking for a better opportunity on AVE to enter, because right now on a daily chart, okay, the last dot is red. The stochastic just hit that white dotted line, and it should be coming down here. So look where it's been bouncing. It's been bouncing off the blue line. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for a pullback into the blue line and a green dot. That's where I'm going to want to capitalize, because that is the pattern, right? We're pattern traders, folks. We're trading the pattern, okay? So with that being said, this is just a beautiful chart, right? This is a beautiful chart. You can see it retracted. Where did it retract? This thing pulled all the way back to 77 right there, right into the green line. Okay, came back there, boom, green dot. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, 95 all the way up to 150. Guys, that's a massive trade. You see people that are happy with 5% a year. That's a 55% trade on that move in the matter of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days. 11 days, 55%. Merry Christmas. Go buy your wife a new car or something. I mean, that's a massive gain. You're not going to get those gains in real estate. And what happened? Red dot, right? Boom. We topped out on our indicator. We hit the red line, pulled back, consolidated for a while, really choppy right in this area. Green dot, rip. Pulled back, green dot, rip. Okay? So we want to pair the green dots with this Bollinger Band, with this indicator up here. You can't just use this one by itself. It's too hard. Okay, you need to pair it either with some EMAs or the Bollinger Band, and I have all the settings and everything set up for you guys that are tuning in using it. So we're looking for a pullback on AVE, but I just want to show you guys how price retracts. Okay, it always retracts back to the red line, and either it's going to retract to this blue line or this green line right here. And we want to make sure the trend is up, right? You can see it's up and to the right. You don't necessarily want to buy when it's down and to the right. Right? We want to buy assets like AVE, very, very nice looking chart, right? Trending to the upside, but it's too overextended right now, right? Too overextended up here. We want to buy a pullback down to either 144 or even 115. If we got the 115 pullback, that'd be load the truck. But again, just wait for the next green dot, see where it comes, make your analysis. If it looks good bouncing off one of these positions, take your trade. Here's another one, SUI. Okay, and these are not part of the watch list, by the way. These are just examples of trades, okay? So you saw SUI here bounce directly off the green line with a green dot. That was a beautiful entry candle. And if you guys don't know what a stop loss is, okay, we always set a stop loss at the bottom of the candle we're getting the green dot on. So for example, on this one, boom, that came right there, ripped all the way up to that red line, okay? How big of a trade was that? Well, to the top was a 95% move. Wonderful. Take your profits at the red line, right? Take your profits when we hit the white dotted line. Pull it back. Okay, we chopped around, boom, little trade there. And then we had this nice pullback. So the more red bars before the green dot, the better. Like this was a beautiful pullback here. Boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red candles, and then boom, you had the green candle. And by the way, I'm using the Hikashi candles. Okay, Heikin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I like those candles a lot more paired with this indicator. That's what they're originally supposed to be paired with, and they're the candles that I find work the best using this strategy. So again, what we have, a pullback. We didn't necessarily hit the green line here, but we got really, really close. Okay, and we got a green dot. So again, where was our stop loss on that trade? At the bottom of what? The candle we got the green dot on, right there at 77. So you were entering at what? 80 cents, 79 cents. Your risk was 2% to the downside off of the red dot. I'm sorry, off of the green dot. What we do? We did the rippity dippity. 77 all the way up to 175. Beautiful trade, right? This is a massive, that's 126% trade on your money, okay? So now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for a retraction back down here to either the blue line or the green line down here. I don't think it's going to come back down and hit the green. I think it's going to come down here and probably tap 118 or so. And then once we get the green dot, if the stochastic RSI, this light blue line, is on the floor, that's a good sign, okay? And you'll see that in our watch list here in just a second. And here's Dogecoin. Okay, Dogecoin's been one of those names also that's just been chopping around. Okay, but now it is actually breaking out. But you can see we're very overextended. So what are we going to wait for on Dogecoin? We're going to wait for a pullback into either the blue line or the green line. But I'm not saying this thing just can't absolutely rip right now. The weekly chart looks extremely bullish. If we can break out over this like 14 cent level, we'll probably go right back up there to 19. It's got a green dot on the weekly. A lot of these cryptos like Bitcoin, the weekly chart, right, green dot. AVE, still rolling, right, still green. And Dodge, I mean, you should enter Dodge if you're trading a weekly on this candle right here. That was the entry candle with the green dot. That risk to reward was absolutely nothing there. 9 cents, you were entering around 10. That was I guess that's a 10%. Well, it was 0.096. So you were risking about 4% on that trade. I never like to risk more than 5% on any of my trades. I've never risked more than 5%. And to do that, I really like to pinpoint the daily. So, right, if we're trading an asset like Dogecoin and we see our wave way down here, that is when I encourage you guys to get into the daily chart and look for an entry. So you can see this was the week of, okay, that green dot came the week of September 9th. Okay, if you come back here to the daily, where was September 9th? September 9th was right here. Okay, right here. Okay, it gave you the dot right there, okay, on this doji candle. I mean, you literally set your stop loss at the bottom of that candle right there that you got the green dot on. And I mean, 9 cents up to 13 where we're sitting right now is, right, a 38% move. Okay, 38% move, and it's still going. So I'd look to sell Dodge on the next daily red. If you're holding it, I'd continue to hold it because I do think it has some meat on that bone. I think the crypto market looks really, really good right now. And if you use a scanner, I use this scanner on TradingView. You just click that button down there in the corner. Where did it go? Well, there was a button down there, but there's normally a button. Let me just exit out of this. Okay, see this button right here says screeners. This is a built-in screener that they have built in. So what I like to do, I use it for stocks and I use it for crypto. But if you go to Crypto Coins, I normally do. They have some pre-built ones built in here, but I like to use the top 100. So I set the rank to the top 100. So I just really like to trade top 100 coins. I'm not a meme coin guy. Every time I buy some type of meme coin, I get crushed. So I just don't like to use that anymore. But what I like to do is come in here and use this more button. Actually, I like to go based off technicals. So the technicals will actually show you the rating of what they're rating it right now. So if I go ahead and adjust this to descending, okay, you can see Bitcoin right now is a strong buy. XRP right now is strong buy. By the way, nice move today on XRP. Tron, strong buy. So you could see all these strong buys, and you can see the sells down here. So something like Matic, right? These neutral names, Maker, I'm going to go ahead and add CRO. I'm going to add Matic, and I'm going to add Maker, because when you look at the top 100 names, right, we're looking at the top 100. You guys can adjust this, okay, based on top 50, top 100, or you could look at the top 200 names. Okay, but you come down here and everything has a buy rating, right? Everything has a buy rating, damn near everything, except for Polygon, KuCoin, CRO, Maker, right? Cosmos is still there with a, and you can see these names have barely even taken off yet. Look at this big pullback we had on Atom, and it's just now breaking out. So this neutral tech rating, right? If you look at the tech rating here, see, it's neutral. So neutral is going to flip to if eventually, right? If this bounce is legit and we're going to keep going up, right? These names should all flip to a buy, okay? Which means the price is going to be going up. So I got the watch list for you guys. If you guys have questions on this screener, you can even use it for stocks too. So if you set up your own screener here like I do, so like, for example, I'll go back to the top 100. So if I want to look at the top 200, okay, I can do that, and then I can actually save it as the top 200, and it's going to automatically appear. Maybe not. This is the top 100. Okay, it actually messed up my thing. So I save it to the top 100. I only like to look at the top 100 names now. So I'm just, that's just a quick way to do a scan for you guys. If you guys have questions about that, I should probably make a video on that. But let's get into these chart requests. I'll get the chart request actually after we go over the watch list. You guys got a bunch of requests over here I'm going to be recovering today. And throughout the week, just feel free to put them over here, and I'd be happy to answer them in our weekly video and go over, at least give you my analysis on what I think. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, guys. I just use technical analysis to place my trades. Don't take anything I say, like literally, like I'm not a 100% trader. I'm probably around 75 to 80% accurate on most of my trades. My only two current positions are going to be Polkadot right now and XRP. I took the XRP position yesterday. It had a nice move today, up about 5%. DOT, though, I got in off of this green dot down here on the 19th of September. So that was about $4.18. And we're riding that puppy up. You can see the daily's overextended, but the weekly looks like it's just trying to get started here. Okay, we'll see if this weekly bounces for real. I think we're going to know for sure on Monday if we're really going to break out, but I'm liking what I'm seeing in the crypto market right now, so we'll see what happens. I'm watching where that red dot comes in again. We've broken out over our red line. Normally that's a good sign. Okay, when we break out, we could get a little pullback here. Again, stochastic pullback, green dot, boom, rip. But the weekly charts are looking really good right now with this bounce. I'm looking for a bounce either up to 6.5 or 10. Those are the only names I'm holding. I'll cover these Ethereum, Solana, SPY, QQQ, and stuff like that. I just want to get you guys the value here. This first one's going to be Affirm. Affirm is a very, very credible company. They have partnerships with Apple and Amazon. And they do that buy now, pay later thing, which seems to be pretty popular. I mean, Americans are at all-time highs in debt. So I want to buy like credit companies right now because they're making money off that interest. And they just absolutely crushed their earnings. I was trading this one. Look at that. They surprised their earnings by 70%. They crushed their earnings. I bought this back here in August, and I took profits around 32. I was buying at 23. Sold it at 32 because I don't like to hold things into earnings. And their earnings obviously just ripped them up. So what I'm watching for on Affirm this week is a pullback either right here to around 38, okay, or even back down here to 28. I'm waiting for a green dot. So once I see where the green dot comes from, right, if we get that reversal doji candle like we got right here, see that's the reversal. You want to buy the first green candle after a pullback like this, okay, and then set your stop loss at the bottom of it, right? My entry was here, okay, stop loss was at 38. Right, call it $38. So I'm watching for that to either bounce off of this or this week. I think this thing has some more room to run. You can see the monthly chart is giving you a green dot this month. So that means, right, all-time highs 180. So this one looks really good this week. We got Swiftcoin. Swiftcoin's giving you a green dot today. This is a very low cap. This is a low cap coin. So like I think it's like a $60 million coin. If you guys are in the Discord over here, you can use this research tool. And you can look up these names. So if you just type in /info and then you type in the ticker, for example, this one is SWFTC, Swiftcoin. Okay, you got a $31 million market cap. So that's super, super tiny. So names like that, obviously in a bull run, have the potential to absolutely rocket ship. And you're getting a daily green dot here. So if I were to take a trade on this today, and I'm not going to, my stop loss would be 0.003. Okay, and the weekly chart here looks like it's just now ramping up. So I'd probably actually put the stop at like 0.03, and then the target would be obviously up to that red line up there, which would be about a 93% move on a weekly time frame. So watching Swift really close this week. I think the weekly looks really good. You can see the last time this blue wave was down here was back in October on a weekly chart. Okay, that thing went from 0.001 all the way up to 0.008. This one actually might be worth a look. I might consolidate into this a little bit. That might be worth something here. And again, big pullback into our green line. Okay, let's bounce it now. Let's get it going. Okay, I like it. Green dot today. That one's probably my favorite one for an entry. If we were talking about today, A-Firm looks good. Berkshire Hathaway, again, this is a very big company, so the moves aren't going to be as big, but that one had a green dot print on Friday. Stop loss on that trade is going to be right there at $679,000. That's insane. And the target would be up there to the red dot. Again, this is a very smaller, lower risk play. That's about a 4% move on Berkshire Hathaway. Nothing. It's not the 93% you're going to get from Swift, but some people have different risk tolerances, right? If I'm trading with $1 million, 4% is a lot, right? 4% is a lot of money on $1 million. That's 40 grand if you're trading with $1 million, right? If you're trading with 1,000, it's only 40 bucks. So people with smaller accounts typically would like to probably trade Swift coin. But Berkshire Hathaway, again, just the setup looks good. We pulled back into the blue line. We're consolidating. Okay, green dot, perfect entry again. Super, super tight stop loss off the green dot. Okay, that is the level we're trading. If that level breaks, right, we'll come down to 660. So that's why we sell if our entry candle is always the candle with the green dot. If that breaks, we want to exit our position and wait for the next green dot, because if that breaks down, right, if we break this level, you're going to see a red dot on the chart. You're going to see the red dot, and it's going to come on down, okay? And then we have the opportunity to buy it again. Okay, if you get a red dot, we don't hold through red dots, period. Whatever chart you're trading, you cannot hold through a red dot. Okay, if you guys held through a red dot on, what was it, Bitcoin? Okay, and again, Bitcoin's been a very choppy market. It's been hard to use our strategy in crypto since March, just because we're just going sideways. Normally, sideways action is a good thing, though, but it just takes more patience, right? But if you sold this red dot up here on the 18th, you were selling at 74K. At time, it perfectly called the top out right here at 74. Okay, and then you could have bought right back in either right here at 49 or when we hit this green line. That was a great place to enter. I really like the bounce off that green line at 54. Okay, but again, the stop on Bitcoin's going to be still 60K, but never hold through a red dot, folks. You can always get back in when the green dot comes back, right? You can always get back in when the green dot comes back, because nobody likes to watch their money. I mean, you might. I don't like it. Okay, I don't like watching my right. If I'm holding through this red dot, I'm watching my account go from, right, if I have 64, I'm watching my account go down 20%. I don't want to watch that. Okay, I just don't want to do it. Okay, I want to sell and then re-enter when I get the opportunity. Okay, if you're selling up here at 63 and re-buying back down here at 54, you're actually buying more of a Bitcoin, because again, you took your profits and you're getting back in down here at 54. So you have more buying power down here. So instead of buying one Bitcoin, you're going to buy 1.2 Bitcoins down here, because it's 20% lower of a price. I hope that makes sense. By the way, I read all the comments, guys. If you guys want to drop a comment, if you guys got questions about this stuff, I always respond. I'm back to being active over here inside the Discord. Again, I've been out for 2-3 weeks just because, again, I got married and been on a vacation. So I'm still very active. I still want to drop a video every week. I'm still dropping clips throughout the week. That's all still happening. This is our first week back, and we just got to stay on top of this stuff. It takes, I don't think you have to look at your charts every day. We do this once a week. We look at these charts once a week. We come up with our watch list for the week, and that's what we're watching. We're not watching anything else. We're only watching our watch list. So here's UPS. Coming into Christmas is obviously probably their best time when they get the most business because of all the packages they are delivering. I saw this one give a green dot on the daily right there on the 29th. That's where I would have liked to enter it. I'm not saying this thing can't have any more room to run here, but this thing's been beaten down pretty hard. Okay, we're in a downtrend, down into the right, but there is some potential for this thing. I think the breakout, my target would be up there at 153. This is off a weekly chart, so 153 would be the target at that red line. Again, not a huge gain, but still, that's 14%. For those of you with a lower risk tolerance, right? If you don't want to risk a lot, you're risking about 2% on this trade right now to make, right, what did I say, 14%? Yeah, about 14%. So 14 to 2 odds, those are pretty good, right? And your stop loss is going to be 129 on UPS, but that one has broken out over the red line as well, so that one looks like it wants more. And again, target is going to be right there, based on the weekly, right there at 153 for some profit taken there. And again, you got to think of, when you think of stocks, you can actually think of the company and their earnings and what they're, right, when they're making money, they're probably buying back their stock. Right? When they buy back their stock, that causes it to go higher. So in a time of like winter, when people are making a bunch of orders, right? When people are when they're delivering more packages, they're making more money. Therefore, they are able to buy back more of their stock, which causes it to go higher. So that, and I believe I had, no, I did not. FedEx. That and FedEx were the two, and FedEx actually looks good here too. I'd use a stop loss on FedEx at 260. This is the daily chart, so my profit taken territory would be right up there at about 310. That's a 16% move back to the red line. Okay, you can even take some off. You can see sometimes we'll get rejected on the blue line too, on the Bollinger Bands. Okay, so 7% move and then rejected. Okay, and then it pumped back up. But this is nice. We're touching the green line. I think they had some type of news come out that got them. And you can see the weekly chart. Again, we're pulling back. There's a potential we could pull back to 236, but I like this one. If we have a green dot on, what's it going to be? It's going to be Monday. Okay, that'd be a great place to enter. We don't got the green dot yet. We're only entering when we see the green dot on the daily. The daily chart is where we need to pinpoint our entries. Okay, the daily dots are the days we want to take our positions. Okay, only the daily dots. We're not buying otherwise. Okay, only the daily dots on the trading indicator is when we're taking our position. And then our targets are always based on a daily and a weekly chart. Okay, we want it to reach, we want it to go back up to that red line. Okay, boom, take your profits, boom, sell it off. Okay, but FedEx and UPS I think are very, very interesting plays going into the holiday season. I think they both have some potential upside. We got Visa. Visa, I think I saw some news about them getting sued or something like that, or some kind of lawsuit. That's never really a great time to buy. It did pull back really hard, which is a good thing as traders because, again, we're playing the pullbacks. We want to play the bounce. So no green dot yet, but again, I'd be watching for it on Monday. The stop loss on this green candle, right? The first green candle isn't a bad place to take an entry either, but you don't want to get crushed. I would love it if this thing pulled back to like 262. Okay, if it pulled back to our green line there, again, we want to wait on the green dot for the entry. But if we get that pullback to 261, which is what I'm going to be looking for this week, okay, if it happens, I'm going to be watching for a green dot. I don't set the daily alerts for you guys just because there's so many of them all the time. So if you guys want to set up your own alerts on the trading indicator, all you have to do is right-click, hit Add Alert. Okay, and I like to use the small green dots because it calls all of them out. Okay, the big green dots are just the ones that have this shaded area down here. I don't know if you could see that on my screen, but if you're like me, you just want to use the small green dots so you get notified, and you can set up notifications over here. So they actually send you an email, they give you a notification in the app, and I actually send all the weekly dots. So if you guys are a member over here in the Discord, you actually get the alerts as they come on the weekly chart. Okay, the weekly chart is more accurate when it comes to these dots than the daily. There's just a little more risk involved in the weekly because you're not really able to get that 1% to 2% risk to the downside, unless you got like Dogecoin, right? We saw Dogecoin there on the weekly. That was like a 2%, about a 5% risk there if you bought on that candle. Okay, which isn't bad, but the daily is where we really want to pinpoint our entries just because we want to enter the day. We want to buy on the perfect day. When is the perfect day to buy an asset? It's going to be on the daily green dot. That is where we want to buy. Okay, and again, Dogecoins came right here. So we could have identified, right, if we could trade in Dogecoin, okay, blue wave is way, way down here. Okay, great. Now it's time because the daily chart feeds the weekly chart. So whatever happens on the daily is most likely going to happen on the weekly next. So you can see this came the day before September 8th, right? That dot came the day before this green dot came on the weekly. It fed that dot to the weekly. So that's why I like to pinpoint them on the daily first, right? If you got the daily way down here giving you a green dot and the wave way down here on the weekly, because each one of these bars is a week's worth of price action. Each one of these bars is a day's worth of price action. So think of 7 of these bars equals 1 of these. So again, pinpointing your entries on the daily is the best way to go. Ideally, you want to do it when the green dot comes and we're either bouncing A off of the blue line or off of the green line on the Bollinger Bands. So Visa, again, on the watch list this week. Okay, watching for a green dot. We'll see where that thing comes. 171 is the current stop loss, but this would be a beautiful setup if it pulled back to 260, and then you'd have a big range all the way back up there to the red line. So again, another credit card company that is obviously, oh, I know, they got sued by somebody saying that they're a monopoly or whatever, right? Here's J&J. Again, I don't like these companies just because I don't believe in pharmaceutical drugs, but again, they make billions of dollars off of us all being sick. And right now it gave you the green dot. Again, the stochastic RSI is down here on the floor. Another big name stock, a little less risk tolerance. Okay, 4% back to the red line. Okay, again, wait on the green dot. If it comes down to the green line right there and gives you a green dot, even better. Okay, that's where you want to set up. But look at this setup right here. We pumped. What happened? The stochastic pulled all the way back to 0. Wonderful. We're watching. Green. Right, green candle, green dot. There's your entry at 157. Okay, and that thing ripped up for a 6-7% gain there. Okay, and again, these are higher cap stocks. So some of you want to trade altcoins with like a $30 million, and then you cry or you want to complain about when your account goes down 50%. Okay, if you don't like trading very volatile things, trade names like Visa, right, where you're only going to lose. Right, look at this pullback here. This pullback looks like a huge pullback, doesn't it? But really, it was only a 7% pullback, which is still pretty big. But, right, if this was Bitcoin's chart, that'd be like a 20-30% pullback. Okay, just because they're so capitalized, right? They're multi-billion-dollar companies. Okay, hundreds of billions of dollars. Meaning, right, if a $100 billion company goes down 10%, that means someone just sold $10 billion worth of shares. Okay? Here's Snapchat. Snapchat I capitalized on. I cashed out on Friday. I think I forgot to call that out, but I think this one still has some room to run. My target on this is going to be, the first target's going to be right up there to the blue line. But you can see Snapchat's a beautiful chart if you're trading the weekly here. You can see the last 1, 2, 3, this is the 4th time, but the last 3 times here have resulted in big trades. That was a 50% trade right there. This green dot here was a 98% trade. That was a 100% move. And then this trade right here off of this green dot was about a 61% move. So 50 to 100% move off these green dots on the weekly chart for Snapchat. If you're still holding this, you're probably fine. I'd be waiting for a little bit of a pullback, but about 67% move all the way back up to 18 from where we're at. And I'll show you guys how I entered this one. So I identified that weekly dot. That was back on Monday the 16th. And I was watching the daily chart, right? We got the green dot here on the 11th. That was the entry right there. I actually entered at about $9.32. So I got in on the hourly and I saw this big move up, right? Liquidity, right? Volume coming in. I saw the pullback. This is where I entered. It was about 9:28. I think I got in off this first green candle right here. That was my entry. And this thing's still running. Okay, I don't think you have anything to worry about if you're holding this thing. I'd be watching the weekly chart. Okay, I'd watch for either when we hit this blue line or this red line up here for taking profits. You can see the stochastic RSI is just getting started. Snapchat looks really good. For this one, I want to buy a pullback on the daily. Okay, I don't know if it comes back down to 10 or 940. I think this thing's going to blast off to 12. I think it's going to hit 12 and then maybe pull back a little bit, but a lot of meat on that bone. I really like Snapchat as a company. They have a very massive following. I think they have like 800 million daily users on their platform. So they just really haven't found a way to monetize yet their ads. I get annoyed with their ads. I think they need to take like a different approach. And I don't know what that is. There's also the possibility of them getting bought out by somebody like Elon Musk or Facebook or Google. That's always a possibility. But look at this. I mean, this pattern has continued since June of 2023. Up, down. Okay, green dot, up, down. Green dot, up, down. Big pull. I love these big pullbacks. As traders, you guys should be licking your chops when you guys see these big pullbacks. All these red bars here, boom, 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 boom. Right, this thing went down for 3 months. Okay, and then what do we get? Boom, green candle right there at 920. Okay, I don't know where this thing's going to top out, but again, my target's going to be around 1270 and 18. AI, here's another AI play. Okay, where we retract to our green line down here, had a bounce. Okay, now we're just bouncing around here. We got the green dot here, same thing. Nice moves here back in May. Okay, from 21 all the way up to 34. Do the math, that's a 32, 40% move. Okay, and we're getting it right here. So this one's on the watch list this week. I'd be in here on the smaller time frames looking for entries. Okay, I think this thing could pop up to 26 this week, but looking at the weekly, I think this thing has some room to run. I'd be looking to take some profits at about $31, $32. Looks good. Okay, stochastics pointing up. Last dot is green, and we got some room to go on this thing. So AI, another AI stock play there. Here's CEL Ace. This is Celsius Holdings. Celsius Holdings, obviously, again, like I said, licking my chops right now. I'm waiting for a green candle. Okay, we got the green dots, but no green candle. So a breakout over 34, 35 would send it. If you guys don't know what Celsius is, they have those energy drinks that are all over the place now. Okay, and I think they're very, very undervalued. I mean, their stock was at $100 back here in May, and it's all the way down at 32. So you can see the monthly chart is also very oversold. Okay, so I'm, again, watching for a weekly green candle. I'm also watching the daily. Okay, but again, a downtrend, right? Downtrend. We need a breakout. We need a breakout. Look at that. Look at how it broke out here last time. Okay, broke out, pulled back, ripped. Okay, that's the pattern we're looking for. So, not quite a buy on this yet, but again, this is a watch list. This is what I'm watching throughout the week. So, yeah, it looks like it's holding on to 30 pretty well. Again, I want to see that first green Hikashi candle. Okay, I want to see that first green candle on the Hikashi there, and that'll be an entry. But that one looks very interesting. Again, I think you got to think about companies as well when you think about stocks. Are they making money? Okay, how are they looking? Okay, Celsius looks good. ASTS, this thing's had a monster move here. The last dot is red on the weekly, but you can see the stochastics getting back down here. I'm looking at the daily on this one, and we're bouncing right on that green line. So these guys do like satellite imagery, or they have satellites. They're kind of a competitor of SpaceX, I believe. But that's a 42% move. What I'm watching for on this one is, this is another lower cap coin. So again, higher risk, higher reward. What I'm watching for is the green dot there, and we are bouncing right on that green line there on the daily. DJT, this is Donald Trump's media company. Obviously, the election is what, 36 days away, 35 days away now. This thing just got absolutely annihilated, dude. All-time high was $80. I got in on this. This was his assassination attempt right here. Okay, I was up like 60, 70%, and then it just flushed. I ended up selling off the red dot on the daily. That was right here. Okay, back in July. Okay, got the red dot right there at 35. Sold at 35, and this thing's just got absolutely freaking annihilated. So to me, it's right, licking my chops right now. Right, when I see 8, 9, 10 red bars in a row, I'm licking my chops, folks. I'm licking my chops. So green dot on the weekly is going to be the signal. That will be called out over in the Discord. But back to the blue line is 132%. And back to the red line is almost a 300% move for DJT. If something happens with the election, if he wins, I don't know how his stock's going to react. I don't think there's ever been an owner of a company besides, well, actually never. I don't think there's ever been an owner of a company with a public traded stock that has been elected president. So that'd be kind of a first-time thing. I don't care about how you feel about Donald J. Trump. I think the play is very interesting here. Okay. Obviously, there's that risk of him getting assassinated, and then this thing will go to zero for sure. But, again, higher risk, higher reward. Here's Coinbase. Coinbase, if this Bitcoin market is for real, if this Bitcoin bounces for real, Coinbase, I think, is going to absolutely rip. And that closed with a green dot on the weekly last week. This is actually one of my favorites, so that's right up there. Coinbase probably my number one pick out of all these names here. I like Snapchat too, so those are probably my top 3 so far. Coinbase, Swift. Swift is higher risk. Snap's a good play. Everything else, just I'm kind of waiting to see what happens. Affirm, again, I'm waiting on a daily there. But Coinbase, the daily is breaking out here, so I think there's no doubt in my mind this thing's going to bounce back to 215, 220. Okay, 220 be a good target on that one. Okay, pointing straight up there. It doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. But you got the green dot on the weekly chart. Way overextended down here. So if we go back to that red line there, okay, that right there is a 44% move on Coinbase. And again, if this crypto pump is for real, and again, this pump, all of them have been lies lately, but that's how they're conditioning us, right? We just, oh, it's just another pump, and then one day it's just gonna fucking blast off, and we're all gonna lose our minds, right? I'd rather take my entries, try to pinpoint them here on the daily, right? Get on, right? Should have been buying Bitcoin down here at 54, okay, not up here at 65, but unfortunately, some of you have to wait till the pump happens. Okay, we want to buy after a big pullback, just like this on Bitcoin. Look at that, boom. Okay, that's where we want to be entering, down here. Okay, bounces off either the blue line or the green line with a green dot. And Bitcoin did give a green dot yesterday. So actually my stop loss on Bitcoin is going to be 62,000 here. If 62,000 holds, this thing could, like I said, this thing, there's not a lot holding it back from jumping up here to 72. If we go up to 72, I think things are going to get nuts, folks. And we got an election. There's so much going on in the world right now. I don't even want to get into some of the subjects I've been seeing on Twitter. I almost just want to delete all my social media pages right now just because I'm so sick of the world. Like, I'm so sick of all the sickness that is happening in the world right now. And may God have mercy on all these people's souls. It's crazy times, folks. And sometimes I get a little overwhelmed with the news and stuff and things happening. But I'm sure we all do. And you know what? I'm thankful for all you guys. We've been doing this for 2-3 years now. We've been through bull markets and bear markets together. Some of you have been here since day one. And I just want you guys to know I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you guys get some value out of what I'm talking about. So, yeah, we're all in this thing together. It's a lot funner to win when you're winning with people than winning by yourself. So, Coinbase again, number one pick this week. My stop loss on this, let's go ahead and determine that. I'm going to go ahead and put that at, probably want to be around 172 right now, but I really think this thing has some potential here. If Bitcoin blasts off, there's not going to be anything holding this to 275. My price target on Coinbase is going to be around $500 for the next bull run. I think that would put it at let's check the market cap of Coinbase right now, actually. You guys can use this tool as well. Just type /info and then your ticker. And then click on your stock here. I think that's the right one. No. Let's see here. Coinbase. So it's a $46 billion company with a B. So you look at it like a name like BAC, and if crypto is going to be the new payment software, exchanges are going to be the new banks. Okay, you can see Bank of America is a $306 billion company. That is 10 times bigger than Coinbase right now. 10 times bigger. So if Coinbase had the same market cap of Bank of America right now, the price of the stock would be around, it'd be over $1,500 a share if it caught Bank of America. And you got to think, if crypto is really going to be the thing, right? As we all believe, if you invest in crypto, you should believe like it's going to be the new norm. Like I don't see any reason why the dollar is going to go back up. It's not backed by gold anymore. It's not backed by oil. It's backed by nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I think the only thing that's going to save our financial system is cryptocurrency. And obviously the risk to it is the grid going out. If the grid goes out, we're all screwed, folks. But at that point, money's not even going to matter, right? You're going to want your shelter, your food, your guns. Right, that's it. Right. So, I mean, as investors, we're obviously trying to build generational wealth for our families. That's the reason I invest. I'm not investing for myself or anyone else. I'm literally trying to make money to help my family out, to help my friends out, to build generational wealth for my family. Right. That is the ultimate goal. But if the grid goes out, we're going to have to think about survival. And that's the only downside risk to cryptocurrency, in my opinion. It can happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but that is the risk. So Coinbase looks really good. Stop loss, just call it 170. Okay, 170 on coin. I think my first target would be 275 on a bounce. Okay, if we get this bounce like we got back here, that was a beautiful, beautiful move there. That was around a 116% racker. So again, put in 10,000 here, you now have $20,000. Rinse and repeat. Nice breakout though. I really like Coinbase. That's my number one pick this week. DJT we covered, again, waiting for the weekly green dot on DJT. And this is Rumble. They're a competitor of YouTube. I don't like their platform at all. Their Blue Wave is down here though. I think it's an interesting company, and I think they have a potential to be bought out by somebody. Okay, if Facebook buys them, right, that they're going to acquire them for more than they're worth, I'm sure. And people are starting to release videos on Rumble and things like that. But you got the green dot right there from Thursday. Okay, that $5.18 was the so $5 is the stop loss right now. You got about an 18% move back to the red. And yeah, this is more of a risky play, not my favorite. Here's MKR. This is a cryptocurrency. This is obviously a lagger. I'm looking at a green dot here. I'm actually going to call this one out for you guys over here in the cord. Okay, look at that. Okay, that's Maker MKR USD. Okay, it's got a green dot this week. So if we're playing this name, this is a beautiful setup here, in my opinion. Okay, you're risking about $200 to the downside if you're buying one share. But, I mean, this thing has a big range back to the top. Okay, 113% move back to the red line. Thank you very much. Okay, MKR, that one's going up there with, that's probably my second favorite one of the day. MKR, so Coin and MKR are my top picks. I like Swift and Snapchat as well. Everything else is just kind of like I'm waiting for some signals. CRO, another name here. You got a green dot right there. So stop loss on this is going to be 0.079. You got the daily chart coiling up here. You got a green dot yesterday, so you can even move this stop loss up to like 0.084. But I just put it right there at 0.08. Let that thing ride out a little bit. Personally, I want to wait for a pullback on the stochastic right when this blue line gets back down here on the floor. But again, these markets, guys, if the whales want these markets to go, they're going to go. Technicals aren't going to matter. If we get an influx of volume and they pump these things to the freaking moon, okay, it's going to happen. And rates are getting cut. Money's easier to borrow. It's happening, right? They're going to influx the market with a bunch of volume here. So CRO, I like it. I really like it. Off the green dot on the weekly chart. My first target would be at 11 cents. Next one would be at 16. And again, if this crypto pump that we've gotten over the last couple of weeks is real, okay, all ships are going to rise. All ships are going to rise. Here's Matic. Oh, man, this thing has been just so choppy. Okay, this isn't my favorite. It's not my favorite. This will be a play on the weekly chart. I'd be using a stop loss at 0.039. MKR we covered, and FedEx we covered. So that's my watch list for you guys this week. Okay, and again, my two names are going to be DOT and XRP. Bitcoin, again, green dot on the weekly, green dot on the daily. Okay, it looks like it wants to go. Okay, 72K is going to be the target. Ethereum, look at that. Ethereum even looks really good. I mean, that's a freaking massive candle right there. Okay, 2,400 is going to be our stop loss on that. Again, last time a green dot came back down here on the trading indicator was back here in October. That was at $1,600. It pumped all the way up to 4,000. That was a 150, 160% move. Solana, same thing, trying to break out here. You got a green dot this week. These are all three of these, Bitcoin, Ethereum, they're all on the watch list too. So I normally just keep these in the watch list because I like to see what's going on. These are obviously the big names. Okay, but for something like Solana, I want to buy a pullback to like 140. Okay, again, I want to buy the bounces off either the blue line or the green line. I don't want to necessarily buy when we're skyrocketing. If I was trading Solana, I would have wanted to buy right here, right on the green dot right there, or on the green dot right here. The best day to buy is the green dot, the day with the green dot. Okay, and then you got the SPY, the SPY, still continuing to go up. I mean, these markets, we got to be in a bubble territory now. I mean, this is just insane. Okay, QQQ had a nice pullback all the way down near its green line here on the Bollinger Bands. Okay, but continuing to go. You got a green dot there, so tech looks good. SQQQ, this is the inverse ETF to QQQ. So when SQQQ goes up, markets, right, QQQ goes down. Okay, so if you want to short, right, if the market is if the trade is short, you want to be trading SQQQ or an inverse ETF to the markets. And then IWM, this is the small cap stocks, green dot there, stochastic pointing up. Okay, daily chart, right? Daily chart bouncing, stop loss is 216. Looks like it wants more though. Got a green dot there. So my only positions right now are DOT and XRP. I'm looking to add to these. Coinbase, MKR, Swift, and Snap are my four real favorite names. All these other ones I need better signal from, but those are the top four. Let me get into your guys' chart requests here, and we'll wrap this thing up. And we got Tundra over here. I'm actually going to move this over to my other screen here to make this easy. Okay, so the first one was from Tundra. He said H bar. H bar, daily's a little overextended, so hopefully you were getting in on this daily dot down here at 5 cents. It's sitting at 6 right now. I'd like to see a pullback into one of these lines here on the daily. If you're trading a weekly chart, okay, use your stop loss right there at 5 cents where we got that green daily dot. Okay, that thing is breaking out though. My first target would be right there at 8. And the next target would be up there at about 13. Okay, but that looks good. XRP, I think I covered this one. Nice move today. 5%. I woke up to a 5% pump. I like that, but look at that. Green dot on the chart. If what they say about XRP is for real, dude, I mean, it's this thing's going to be $6, $7 one day. I mean, it's crazy. Okay, what could happen to XRP? That's why I jumped on board. I got in, I believe, right here at 57. Okay, bought the little pullback there into the blue line, and nice move today. I think this thing has some continuation, so I'm continuing to hold this thing. It also has a green dot on the monthly chart here. Okay, I want to wait till this stochastic RSI, this blue wave on the monthly, gets closer up here. And when this thing moves, it moves really fast. So I'm a buyer of this. Green dot today, showing up on the daily today. Stop loss is going to be right there at 58 cents. Algorand. Algorand, the daily looks a little overdone. So a lot of the daily charts look overdone here, folks. Okay, we have these big moves up and the pullbacks down. Time to buy Algorand was down here. Okay, right there. Boom, 11 cents. Nice move to 14. Okay, but now this is where I don't like to buy. This is why these names are not on my watch list, because the daily is so overextended. Right? The daily is so overextended. Look at MKR. Okay, not way up there yet. Okay, hasn't even made a move, and it's showing a daily dot or a green dot on the weekly. So if you're trading algo, if you're trading the daily, okay, I'd probably be looking to take some off. If you're trading the weekly though, okay, that move might just be getting started there on the weekly. I put a stop loss at 12.5 on Algorand, bottom of this week's candle. Okay, we're gonna know next week if this bounces for real. We're gonna know next week. Next week is actually the beginning of a new month as well. So we're gonna get new monthly candles. If you guys ask me right now, I think October is going to be a really big month. I think there's going to be some crazy shit going into this U.S. election, and I think they're going to just pump these markets to the freaking moon. So I do think October is going to be a big month. If I'm wrong, guess what? I got my stop losses set, and I don't got to worry about it. So make sure you guys are using your stop losses in case you are wrong. Nobody is 100% ever. QNT, stop loss on that's going to be right there at 70. Okay, that's right near our 30 EMA there. So I'd love to buy a bounce off 70 there. You got a red dot showing up today. Okay, if you want to be a little tighter with it, make sure it holds 76. But I think a good place to buy this one's going to be right there around 70. But it is a hold. Okay, as long as the last dot on the weekly is green, that thing's a hold. I think that has the potential to pump up here to 90. Okay, the next target would be up there at 133 at that red line. DKS. This is Dick's Sporting Goods. Weekly is red. If the weekly dot on the chart is red up here, I'm not touching it. I don't like this name. I don't like this name, and I don't think anyone shops there anymore. MU, they beat their earnings. Okay, be careful with these big fat candles. Okay, they beat their earnings. They had the setup coming back here on the 11th. This is where you should have been buying. MU was back here at $86 off of this green dot when the wave was way down here. Nice move, but where are we? We're right into that red line right now. So, again, when the wave's up here on the daily, I don't like to buy. I like to buy when the stochastic RSI, the blue line, is down here on the floor at the zero line. That's where you guys should look to enter. Okay? Don't buy after the move. Buy before the move. Okay? The green dot. Bang. Okay, but that one, in my opinion, I'd be a seller of that name. I'm not saying it can't keep going here. Okay, it could go all the way back up there to 146, but it just topped out at that big blue line, and it's hitting our location here. So watch for a red dot on that this week. If it gives you a red dot, sell it. Okay, it gives you a red dot on the daily, sell it. But hopefully we're getting in right here at 85, and you're already up, right, 30%. So that's a good triple, right? A 30% trade is a good trade. A lot of people just want the 100Xs that we've been conditioned to think everything's just going to go 100X. I'm happy with 10, 20, 30% on my trades. If I could do that consistently, I don't got to worry about money, right? Because we're multiplying our money as time goes on. Here's a Qualcomm, another chip stock. This one don't move much. Not my favorite chip play, but it does have a green dot there on the weekly. I'd set a stop loss on this one at 160 if you own it. Looks like the target, if we get a bounce, is going to be up there at around 200. That's a little less than, I think that's about a 15% move. No, a little more than that. 25% move there. So set your stop loss. You can even move it up there to the bottom of these green candles at 163. What's the daily say? Okay, the daily's just chopping around right now. So you do got the daily green dot there. 163 is a good level to play on that one. Make sure it holds that. And like I said, QQQ looks like it wants to go. It wants to keep going. So if QQQ goes, all tech stocks should rise with it. Okay, make sure they don't got earnings or something coming up. Something like that could crush the stock. I don't think they do. They don't got earnings till November 6th. So watch for a run up into earnings there on Qualcomm. 163 is going to be the stop on that. Velo, this thing's in a downtrend, right? We're wanting to trade names that are up and to the right. What I'd be waiting for on this, you're probably looking at the weekly chart. Energy is an interesting play right now, but what I'd be waiting for is the green dot on the weekly if you're playing that. Look at the daily. Okay, the daily's giving you the green, but again, just very choppy. I don't know. It's a very, very ugly looking pullback, but it is a major pullback. If you're looking at a weekly chart, that is a big, big pullback, and you're sitting right on our green line here, which is generally where we like to look to enter. So watch for this week. If you're trading this one, make sure it holds 130. 130 is going to be your stop loss. Just wait for either a green candle or a green dot on the chart on the weekly, if that's what you're trading. AVE, we covered Demo. Thanks for the request, by the way, Tundra. DIMO. Okay, this one weekly chart looks like a. This one looks like a just a what do they call this? An altcoin or very low cap coin. Looks like it is on Coinbase. I don't know what this thing does, but watch 12 cents on this one. 12 cents needs to hold. Okay, and I would have liked to buy it down here. I don't know. These names are, I feel like it's more of a fundamental play than a technical play. 12 cents is going to be your stop loss. You can actually move that up to like 14 if you own it. So make sure it holds 14. There's no volume in this name, though. No volume in this name. So be careful on that one. We got Mina. I think that's a crypto. This one looks good. Okay, breaking out over to the 9 EMA there. 43 cents is the level you want to watch. But the daily, see that daily red dot, that means we could pull back. So I want to buy Mina at around 45. I want to buy a bounce off of this blue line right there. So wait for the stochastic RSI, that light blue line, to pull back down here and give you a green dot. We don't want to enter on the red dots. We want to take profits on the red dots. Wait for the green dot there. Weekly chart does look good, but that doesn't mean it can't pull back here. Okay, wait for the green dot on the daily. That's the perfect day to enter. If you own it, I would take a little bit off here, or maybe all of it, and re-enter on the next daily dot if you want to own it. AERO. Okay, this thing's already had a massive move. Again, where was your entry? Your entry was right here when we bounced off our green line on the Bollinger Bands. Beautiful setup on this thing. Holy shit. Okay, beautiful setup. I mean, this trade right here was 100 and something percent, was it not? 152%. Okay, Merry Christmas. Okay, I think this one could come up to the red line there at 170. That'd be a good target to take some profits. But personally, if it's me, I'm probably taking profits at this time. I'd wait for the daily red to take profits. You could do that. Or you could take some off right now. Hopefully you were getting in on this dot, just like our strategy suggests, and you're up 134%. I mean, you can't ask for a better trade than 134%. If you're going for the 10x, 100,000x, cool. But wouldn't be a bad idea. If you're up 100%, you could sell half of the position and take your initial investment out and let the profits ride, and then take that initial investment and go put it in something else. It's completely up to you. That's a good strategy, though, when something goes up 100% and you're right. That's really good. I wouldn't be entering up here. I'd be holding and looking to sell my position on the next daily dot. That's how I play AERO. Nice trade there for whoever capitalized on that dot, though. Matic, we covered. This thing just, I don't know, man. I just don't like Matic. It's just a piece of shit, to be honest with you. If you're playing it, though, play this weekly dot we're getting today. 39 cents is going to be the stop loss. I just think there's better crypto to trade, dude. Like, this is just ugly, okay? Ugly. Okay, and I'm not saying it can't bounce here, but there's just some better names, in my opinion, to own. My first target would be 63. Second target would be up there at 109. But the daily dot came back here on the 19th, so that was around 38 cents. So you're up about 4 cents. So you're looking at about 10% risk to the downside on that, so 39 cents needs to be your stop loss there on Matic again. I'd personally wait till this blue line came back down here, okay, just like it did right here, and give you a green dot. The weekly chart is telling you otherwise, right? You got a green candle this week with a green dot, so if you're playing the weekly, you got to use a stop loss at 39 on Poly. We got XLM. XLM looks good still. Again, another name that's just kind of been chopping around. People are probably getting really impatient on it. Okay, but the last dot is what? It's green on the weekly. Okay, and the daily, where we pull back to, boom. Okay, right there at 9 cents, I think is where I bought this thing. I sold it when it went up to like 9.7. Again, playing that stochastic up there. Stochastics up there. We're into that major resistance, but that is also breaking out over that red line. So when we break the red line, that means we rise up. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Wait for the red dot to sell this one on the daily. And the weekly dot, the weekly chart looks like it can pump up there to, I'm going to say around 14 is going to be my first target. 14 cents there on XLM. That one looks good. XRP, okay, also moves with XLM, and that one looks like it wants to break out today too. So when XRP goes up, so does XLM. And XRP has a green dot on the daily today showing up. So it'll be interesting to see what these things do into the election. Again, if you guys know anything about XRP, it's supposed to be the global currency of the world here pretty soon. Once we get off the dollar standard and stuff like that, it has a limited supply of 100 billion coins. There can only ever be 100 billion coins in circulation, and not a lot of crypto actually have that built into their feature. So, yeah, it's a very interesting play. XLM as well. XLM though is looking good. I'd look to sell it. Depending on your time frame, if you're trading a weekly chart, I'd look to sell it at 14 cents, which is about a 50-60% move. But this looks good. Wait for the daily dot to sell this one. That one looks like it wants to continue on. If you want to protect your risk to the downside, set a stop loss at 0.095. HNT from E. Lopez. What's up, my boy? Okay, green dot came back down here on the 22nd. This one was a money trade too. We capitalized on this right here. Okay, I sold this one at 6. It's at, what, 7.55 now or something like that. But green dot came way, look at this wave. It was way down there. Okay, we called that thing out right here. I think I got in at 3.50. 3.50. I ended up selling this thing around 5. I think it was $6, right, when we came back into that EMA right there. Okay, and it kept going. But we're kind of getting to the top. I mean, I'm not saying this is the top because, again, if these markets pump, they're going to freaking pump. Dude, you guys have seen bull markets pop up before. When it happens really, really fast. But I'd set a stop loss if you own this one. It's just, I think there's stuff with a little bit more reward right now than HNT. What's the monthly? Monthly's pointing straight up too. So set your stop loss right there at 7. Call it 7.10 if you own it. I'd look to take profits maybe at 8.25 or, yeah, about $9. Not saying it can't just absolutely pop off, but you got a red dot here on the weekly as well. So be careful on this, right? We want to buy names that are just starting them. Like HNT, in my opinion, right, from this dot to this dot, okay, that's a over 100% move, right? So there's going to be profit taking, you'd think. Okay, I'm not saying it's for sure thing, but I don't want to buy a name that's showing me a red dot on one of my time frames. And again, we focus on the daily and the weekly. Okay, the best day to buy is the green dot on the daily. And you got that right here off this candle. So use your stop loss. Just call it $7. $7 is your stop loss on HNT. Okay, with that red dot. But again, just know you're holding to a red dot right now. This thing's going to close tomorrow. So not saying it can't keep going, because it always can. But as traders, right, we are never, ever, 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 let me pull this back over here, never trying to time the top, right? We want to just take our profits and go, folks. You guys know baseball. We want to hit singles. We want to hit doubles. We want to hit triples. We'll hit home runs sometimes, right? But singles and doubles, if you guys can be consistent with your trading, okay, not going for the grand slam every trade, just simple, right? Simple stuff. Like right here, boom, pull back into the thing, dude. Okay, $4.40, boom, back into the red, sell. 50%. That's 50%. Okay, I really love these Bollinger Bands. Okay, I really love these Bollinger Bands. They are now on the trading indicator. So if you guys don't have the updated version, just shoot me a message. If you guys want these, it's really easy to add the Bollinger Bands to your trade though. But if you guys purchase the indicator, again, the indicator, all the presets, everything is set up exactly how it's supposed to be. You can come over here to the Discord and click this link right here. It's going to take you over to a page where you can get it and you just click a couple buttons and this thing, your chart's going to look exactly like mine does. So, yeah, go do it if you haven't done it yet, guys. I don't know how I would trade without this stuff. Like it would be impossible. HNT though, again, just not looking like the best risk to reward. A Solana also way up here right now. Again, wanting to buy a pullback into 140. If you're holding it, great. Okay, you're probably playing a weekly chart here. Stop loss on the weekly is going to be 136. We do got the green dot showing up this week. We'll see if they pump this thing to the moon. Okay, if they let it ride. But again, you're into the red. Okay, I would have wanted to buy Solana right here on the 19th, right there off that green dot, or right back here off this green dot. This was the perfect one, right? We were into that green line. Boom. Beautiful doji candle. There's your entry. Rip it up, baby. Rip it up. Okay, but that one looks like a little bit more like on the cautious side of taking profits. If you're playing this on a weekly time frame, wait till this stochastic RSI gets back up here to the white dotted line, or we touch that red line right there. I'd say 200 is probably the next target for Solana to take profits. This week, folks, this week is probably the biggest week for crypto. And we're going to see if this pump is for real or if we're just going to continue to chop around and do all this bullshit. Okay, I'm hoping it's this. I'm hoping it's not just... No, we want this. Everybody wants this, right? I want this, you want this, everybody wants this. Most important thing is to be buying good quality assets that you think have long-term potential. Okay, I think Polkadot, 40% of the Polkadot coins are staked. 40% of the coins are staked. So it's hard to sell off. I mean, this thing had a pretty ugly sell-off, but something that looks like this is much more attractive to me than something like, right, HNT, where it's already had a big move. I want to buy the first candle after a big pullback like this. Does that make sense? Right, DOT? What is DOT doing this week? First candle after a massive pullback. Yes, we had some fake outs here. We had some fake outs here. That is why we use a stop loss. Okay, but we're back in it, baby. We're back in it. Okay, and the stop loss on DOT is going to be 425. FSLR from Rama. What's up, my boy? Yeah. Okay, this thing's pumping. Solar looks good. Okay, my target's going to be right around 300. Okay, you want to wait till it hits that red line there on the stochastic. Okay, stochastic RSI, boom. I'm not stochastic, but the Bollinger Bands there. Again, stochastic looks like it wants more. That looks good. Let's get into the daily here and see what we got going. Okay, daily's a little overextended here, but I think this thing makes a run back up to 300 this week. This one looks good. I'd be a holder of that name, waiting for the stochastic to get closer to that white dotted line, or we come up and touch that red line there, just like we did right here. Okay, just like we did right here, just like we did right here. That's when you want to take the profits, folks. That red line there on the Bollinger Bands. Near Tim Tebow with some requests here, my boy. Near is popping off. Okay, popping off here. Hopefully you got in last week off the signal. Okay, that was at about $4. It's already up to $6. Beautiful trade there. Okay, so the weekly support's going to be right there at 4. The daily, I mean, this thing's crushing, but it's got a daily red here today. So I'd want to buy a pullback maybe to 450. Okay, if you're holding this thing, I'd take some profits right now off the daily dot. I'd take maybe half off and then buy the next green dot. If it pulls back down here to our SMA, okay, around 450, that'd be great. But the weekly looks bullish and the daily looks bullish too. So again, red dot. Okay, what happened to the last red dot over here on the 27th? We had this little pullback. Boom, got another opportunity. When the red dot comes, it's fine. Okay, because you're going to get a green dot next. The green dot will be the next entry. Right, so... yeah, I think this one could pull back to around 440, 450. The weekly looks good, though. The monthly, I don't know. Monthly looks a little weird to me. But target on that's going to be up there on the weekly. If you're playing it, is 830. 830 on the target there. And if you get the pullback on the daily there, that's going to look really, really good. Let's go back to these requests here. Jasmine is the other one. I like Jasmine. I already took a look at this. This is actually, I should have added this one to my watch list here. I'm actually going to do that as well. And I'm going to share this watch list with you guys like I always do here. So I'll do that here after the stream. But you're seeing Jasmine with a green dot this week. 0.019 is the stop loss. Let's look at the daily. Again, the daily is very overextended right now. That's something we need to take into consideration. But the good thing is we are breaking out over that red Bollinger Band there. I think Tim uses these Bollinger Bands too. I'm not 100% sure, but I look to sell, take some off the table on the next red dot, and then look for a pullback into that SMA, like 0.02. I want to wait for the stochastic, that light blue line, to get back down here on the indicator, just like it was right down there. Okay, and then you sell, right there's your trade. Boom. Okay, you're already up a massive amount if you're entering right there. That was a beautiful, beautiful move there. Last green dot came right here at about 2 cents, so you're already up 10, 12%. I think this one has some meat on the bone, though. That weekly looks really, really good. Stochastic's pointing straight up. First target's going to be right there at about 3.5. If it keeps going, great. Okay, but the target's going to be 3.5 right there. Airbnb, Rona says 2-week signal. I saw this one pop off last week too. This one was on my watch list last week. I didn't share it with you guys because, again, I was on my honeymoon, but this one had a nice move. Okay, big pullback on Airbnb, obviously a credible company. I don't know how much money they're making. We can actually probably tell. I don't even see their earnings on this. That's weird. But this one's good. This one's still a hold or a buy. Okay, again, it's not a buy because we missed the green dot. You got a red dot here on the daily. So I'd look to buy the bounce back off of, what is that, 120? About 120. Pull back into our blue line there and give us a green dot. Wait to buy this one till you get a green dot on the daily. Okay, but the weekly looks good. It looks like it wants some continuation. The target on that's going to be around 150 for me. And then if that breaks out, it's going to be 180, up there at 180, near that red line there. So these are the deviations, right? Our standard deviations. Price always retracts to these levels. You can see, boom, retracted to there, sell off. Retracted to there, sell off. Okay? It's beautiful, folks. These Bollinger Bands are money. Okay? And I watched a few videos on them. I learned about them. And I like it. I like it a lot better than the EMAs that we were using before. Trading's all about experimenting and what you feel is right. So just keep that in mind. No one strategy is 100%. My strategy isn't 100%. Your strategy or any of the gurus' online strategy isn't 100%. You just got to learn when to enter. You got to learn how to manage risk. That's what trading is all about, is managing risk. But Airbnb looks good. I like Airbnb. Again, I'd wait to buy it. I'd wait to buy it on a pullback on the daily and a green dot. Okay, when the stochastic gets back down closer to here in a green dot. So I think that's going to come. I think you're going to get the opportunity to buy Airbnb at like 119, maybe this week. SLI from Mr. Mayhem. This is lithium, a lithium stock breaking out here. Okay, this is not one I'm going to swing trade. This is one I might day trade, but my trade entry was right here. Okay, on the 11th, that was my entry right there. Bang. Okay, it's all the way up to $2. Things very momentum like. So this is one you want to trade like the 5-minute chart. Okay, not one you want to go long on, just because of how overextended we are, and that thing could pull back really fast if it wanted to. The weekly chart, though, trying to pump. Okay, we're up into what? We're into that red line. We'll see if that thing flies. I don't know if there's going to be news or something like that coming out, but not my favorite one to swing trade right here, but I would have wanted to buy it back down here on the 11th, September 11th. RIP to all the firefighters and everybody who died on that tragic day years ago. Uniswap, he said Uniswap monthly for E. Lopez. Monthly chart is still red, still pointing down. The weekly chart, though, is trying to pump here. So move your stop loss on this one up to around $6. Daily chart, again, I would have wanted to be entering right here on the 3rd at about 5.8. Okay, move your stop loss up on this one to $7. $7. Again, daily's very overextended. Last green dot came right there at 6.8. So that'd be my stop, actually, 668. Call it 660. Okay, weekly chart, though, looks pretty good. Okay, looks pretty good. If it breaks out over 8, I'd look for around a $13 target on Uniswap. And again, guys, if these crypto markets pump, and I don't got a magic ball, it's all going to depend on if these whales put a bunch of liquidity into the market. If it happens, great, we're positioned. But if it doesn't, and we keep on chopping around like we've been chopping around for the last what has it been? 6-7 months, boring, right? You guys look at the chat. I mean, we're not very active. People have lost interest, but in the end, right, the people that hang on, those are the people that are going to benefit. Because a lot of people are in despair because they watched their accounts go down 40% because they didn't sell a red dot. Okay, and now it's stealthy. Smart money phase is sideways, right? That's what we're doing here. We're sideways, just chop. Nobody likes to trade the chop. You could ask any trader, they hate the chop. Okay, I hate the chop, you hate the chop, we all hate the chop. Okay, but it's happening. So we gotta know what we're doing here. Okay, when we're chopping around, we need to be definitely not on the higher time frames like the monthly and the weekly. We need to be on the daily, watching these pullbacks and buying. Boom, rip. Boom, rip. That's why I like the daily chart. Okay, I like to pinpoint my entries on the daily with the green dots on the daily chart. Okay, it makes the most sense when the wave is down here giving you a green dot. SHIB had a nice move yesterday. I saw 20% or something like that. Okay, big move up. Yeah, everyone's excited about SHIB up here, right? Where are we at? Oh my God, we're going to the moon. We're going to poof. Someone's going to get killed. Someone's going to get smashed. Okay, I want to buy a pullback. Okay, I'm not buying SHIB way up here. I want the stochastic to pull way back here. If I have SHIB right now, I was buying right here off this green dot, right there at 0.000133. Okay, wonderful. I'm up like 100%. I'm taking my profits. Oh, wow, that weekly candle's big. That's a big boy weekly candle. So if that thing continues, watch for this thing to top out at about 3 cents. Maybe even more. Okay, but looks like it's got some meat on the bone on the weekly. The daily looks scary, though. I'd look to sell this on a daily dot. And again, if you guys want to set the alert for that, you just right-click, hit Add Alert. Just like how I said, use the small green dots on the for the buys. I use the small red dots for the sells. So I could set that up. I could hit Create. Boom. And now I'm going to get the alert. Right, I'm going to delete that because I'm not trading SHIB. They created SHIB. Okay, so I'm not trading that. All right, I don't want to trade that. So, yeah, I mean, this thing definitely looks like it could pump. Like I said, if these markets are going to go, they're going to go very fast. You can see these move happen in like the matter of weeks, right? They happen very, very fast. So watch for that thing to top out there at like 0.031, I would say. But again, big time. If you're buying up here, you're too late, in my opinion. If you're holding it, I'd be holding till the red dot, okay? Because you should have been entering on this green dot or on this green dot right here, straight up, okay? I'd be waiting for a pullback, that stochastic to pull back and give us another green dot for the next entry. We're too late on this one. Do not be flooding into it up here at 2.002. Here's AKJ, my boy, on NOC. We're getting pretty close here to the end. NOC's got a red on the daily, so not holding through dailies. I'd want to buy this one at $500. 500 be my target. Weekly's probably red, or looking like it wants to turn red again. Don't want to buy way up here, right? We want to buy after a bunch of red candles, not a bunch of green candles. I'd be taking profits. TATT. Okay, now the same thing. Red dot on the daily. Okay, I don't know what this thing does. You might know the fundamentals, but look where we are on the weekly and the daily. Very overextended. Okay, wait for a big pullback, boom, a green dot, and rip it. I'd be looking to take profits on this name as well. We got Smartass. Wolf. How you doing, Smartass? Hope the weather's good. Hope you're not getting hit with that hurricane over there in PA. That wouldn't be good. Land Wolf on Solana. Here. You guys like this. You guys like this one a lot, don't you? Okay, green dot right there, green candle right there on the weekly. You got the 0.0013. Looks good if you want to play it there. That's a 50% drop though. I don't got the heart to play those. If you're gonna play it, I'd play it with a very, very small amount, because if it does pop back off, that's gonna be a good move for you. I think that's like 800% or something like that. No, 275. Well, no, if you bought it right here, it'd be 519. It's first green candle on the weekly though, so again, nice set of red candles. Waiting for the green dot. You got the green candle this week. If you're gonna play it, use your stop loss at call it 0.002. Okay, trying to break out here. Again, I don't know why you guys like this so much, but yeah, 0.002 is the stop loss on that. That is the last request of the day. If you guys have any questions or need anything, feel free to drop a comment or join the Discord channel for free. That link is in the description and pinned in the comment section below. You guys can get the trading indicator, right? Everything we use to trade, the Bollinger Bands and this indicator down here with the red and green dots. You can instantly load that into your TradingView account by coming in here to the Discord and going to the trading indicator. I also have a free trading course you guys can use that goes over our strategy a little bit more. We got some trading rules. We got all the trading apps that you guys need to get started. Trade crypto on Coinbase. We trade crypto or stocks on Robinhood. You got the TradingView. TradingView is this website here. If you guys want to start an account, you guys can come over here and click that link as well. We got the server rules. Please respect those, guys. If you guys need anything or have any questions, feel free to email me at overkill@overkillinvesting.club. If you guys have requests throughout the week, our members over here can request charts to be covered in case I don't cover them throughout the week. We drop a video every week here on the channel, and I'm dropping clips throughout the week. You guys can watch the small clips right here inside of the Discord. It's free to join. If you guys need anything, again, feel free to shoot me an email or hit me up over here inside of the Discord chat. We got a lot of action going on over here. Not a lot lately just because of how the market conditions have been, and I've been MIA for the last 2 weeks, but plan on getting back into it here, folks. Ball's getting rolling. We're still here, okay? We're not quitters. We're staying on top of the markets as we always do. God bless y'all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.